I have an architectural interest template open, and I just want to make sure that you have Match Photo here docked in your default tray. So to begin with, we'll pick the little plus symbol, and for my example, I'm just going to use the Boston Market here and pick Open, and you might recognize this restaurant. It's on Scottsdale Road. So let's talk about this a little bit right now. The grid should be on. The style that you want is this last one over here. Outside, the other two is for above and inside, which we'll be using in the next project. The planes that we want are the red-blue plane and the green-blue plane. And this one here is for the red-green plane. We'll use that one in the next project as well. The spacing here, leave it at 5 feet for right now. We'll come back and revisit that in a little bit. So what you're looking at here is a few different things that might look familiar. You can see this woman here standing, and she's kind of ghosted out here. You don't really see the colors here, but you do see a blue vertical line, you see red line, you see the green line, you see. So those are your access lines. And this yellow line, which you haven't seen before, is your horizon line. So in order to make a 3D model of this Boston Market restaurant, we need to first establish some vanishing points and some planes in order to draw surfaces. And we're doing this based on the photo itself. When you're working on Match Photo with an exterior view of a building or a house, you're going to want to look for an outside corner to start with. Now over here is an outside corner, as well as here and here. This is an inside corner. There's one way over here. And there's another one way back here. So the very best one in this situation is the one right up front, right? This one right here. So we're going to establish this corner right here as our point of origin. And our point of origin, if you remember, is over here next to the woman. So we'll pick on that and we'll drag it over here, hold down your left button, and roughly we'll just put it right there, lift up our button there. So if you notice that this, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, this should eventually be aligned with this corner here, and that's why we're picking an outside corner. It's easy to align the vertical blue line with the corner in the photo. So I'm going to pan out a little bit, and anytime you see a square on these bars here, you can grab it and you can move it up and down, left and right. Okay, you see how that's kind of messing things up here. And when you first bring in your photo, it may not look as neat as this. It might be all kind of jumbled around in here, and you got things looking strangely. And so what you need to do is to start playing with these and trying to establish a relatively good vanishing point, okay, on either side. And if you hold down this button here and move it out like this, you can see how it's affecting everything. So look at the blue line and try to get that pretty straight according to the photo. Come over here, do the same thing like that. Now you can always zoom in a little bit and kind of check where you are. It's a little bit off there. And I'm going to zoom in real close here. And see, I'm off here. The corner is really over here. So I'm going to grab this and move it a little bit right there. That's a little closer like that. Any of these can be readjusted at any time. So we still need to do something with these bars here. And if you notice, there's a green grid over here and the red one over here. And you can see the red access line here. So it really doesn't matter if the green one is over here or the red one is over here. If I wanted to put this one over here, I'd drag it over here and take this one over here, like that. And I kind of prefer that because I can see that the red line is going right, okay, and the green line is going left. So I just switch those over there. So again, I have to kind of adjust my vertical line here, like that. Now, this will all change once we establish the vanishing point. And in order to do that, you need to move these little bars. Okay. Now, it's going to get all crazy, and you might get really kind of frustrated with this, but it's good practice. You want to align, take this over here, take this one, move it over here, take this one over here, and take this one, and kind of make them roughly parallel to each other for right now. I'm going to move this one up a little bit, this down, this up. Okay, so you move one little square and it affects the whole thing. But you can start to see what we're doing here. We're establishing a grid line, a wall of grid here, against this wall in the photo and against this wall in the photo as well. So you might have to get a little closer to this, and you're going to establish this vanishing point by moving these on a line. Don't worry about this right now. So you see how I'm aligning this bar here with this darker portion of the building, and I'm doing this up here. So you're looking for two parallel lines that will eventually end up in a vanishing point way out here someplace. And you want to do that for both sides, both the green and the red. So I'm going to come over here, pick this, put it up here. This time I'm going to use this. It really doesn't matter where you put these as long as they're parallel. And it's a good idea to make these a little bit longer. It seems to help. You can even make them this long, bring them out. Get close to the building here so you can kind of see where you're placing it. And then come back here. And actually, I'm going to maybe take this one and zoom in a little closer and use it on the window frame here. It's kind of dark in here, so I'm just going to pull that out and kind of align it right here, get it close to this. There's another window over here. So roughly like that. Check my blue line here. Seems to be okay. And everything else looks good. So that's the first step.